and you hear that a citizen of America, that someone they kidnap them here, America will fly down. There should be accountability. There should be checks and balances, which is what we are lacking, quote unquote, in our country. That is so short. As a student leader, I'm equally a student.
I went to
Okay. So when I meant that I need a union where students are stakeholders, what I mean is that I need a union that works on feedback mechanism. If by 2027 we are able to elect a leader, most students can be rude. So when we approached the medical director, they said that and they are not receiving appropriate healthcare service that they should receive.
If you give them opportunity, they are going to still shake you.
That's the complete fact.
Welcome to another episode of Juicy and Ascodera. Today we are going to be having a very interesting conversation. And if you are a student of VNN, you really might want to stick around for this conversation, because if you are looking at the guest I have today, you know that you have a lot to learn today. Even if you are not in a student, just any student of any such, you learn a lot today. Today in the set I have Comrade Otazi Simon, the SCG Secretary General of University of Nigeria Nsukka here, and we're going to be having conversations. Welcome, what's how you doing?
Thank you so much, my brother.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. My name is Comrade Otazi Simon Okechukwu, just like Dara said. And I hope you will learn a lot from today's conversation. I'm sure, not even I hope, because we'll be delving into topics that, are student-oriented, and, we'll scavenge, and see what and how things have been done, maybe the political aspect and some other aspects too. So I'm happy to be here. My host, I'm loyal, and I'm happy to have me here. It doesn't depend. Okay, I'm happy to be here, and I hope we have engaging conversation today. Just stick around. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Without wasting time, we're going to dive straight into the conversation. Sure. But before we do that, please, there's that subscribe button. Just hit it. I beg you like this. Just
please
subscribe, like, share, and get your comments ready. Start asking me questions like this. Just start this up. Just anything that you want to ask it.
Okay.
So that when you can actually get more people to engage in the conversation and stuff.
Sure.
Thank you so much. So Comrade Otazi Simon, Alpha.
I'm cool. I'm okay.
This case you I want to counter and answer me. So I want to ask
okay.
How has your office been? How has your studies been? How has your personal life been?
Okay. I'll start firstly by saying that there is this notion that once someone gets into politics, that they will be lagging behind in their academics and maybe some other aspects of their life. So there is this notion that this is a stigma, quite right, that scares a lot of young people, talented people who have the leadership spirit, who can achieve or contribute more to the larger society. But because this will I say myths, and sometimes they are facts and sometimes they are true, because a lot of people who get into politics end up academically poor and lacking in other aspects of their life. But I just like, as you directed the question to me and said, yes, how have my own been? Okay, basically we transcended, or we stepped into power this semester, and I think overall the activities of the government for now has not in any way stopped me, or trying to become like a blockage or a stumbling block to my education. For now, I go for my classes, at least normal ways I go for, except on rare occasions where it's unavoidable. But I don't think I've missed class up to 5 times this semester. So, but that's it. And another thing is, for me, a student like me, I know that for me to pass in any examination, I must attend 95%, but at least 90% of the classes. So I don't joke with classes, even as much as I'm doing my secretary work. I make sure that I manage my time appropriately, and I make sure that I do the things I'm supposed to do at the right time, and I devote time to my studies as at when due. I make sure that I do my assignments, and I don't miss assignments, even if the lecturer just jokingly gave the assignment and I cannot do it, okay, I will equally find a way to make sure that I'm among those, that submit the assignment. Just that I will do my research on that particular course, gather information. If it's not something I can do at the moment, I can just call on my colleague and say, okay, arrange this thing for me and bring it to me, submit. So it doesn't mean that when you are in a political position that should, the first thing is that you're in school to learn. The first thing is you're here to, become a graduate.
Exactly.
So politics is just an added advantage to what you have come to do. Leadership is an added advantage, that when you balance your time well, at the end of the day, you'll be happy about it. So for me, I don't think the challenges of the government for now, from what I'm seeing, except in the future, then I'll have to make amends. But for now, everything is good and it's okay.
I like as you are basing the conversation on now because tomorrow.
Sure, sure, sure,
No one
sure, sure,
knows.
sure, sure.
But I'm just glad that the three stuff are not clashing.
At
Yeah,
all. At
because
all.
at some point we it's kind of like you said, it's a myth or something. But most of us out there believe that once you are there, you're going to like have to balance one with one. You
Yeah,
get what I'm saying?
definitely.
Yeah, but if you can actually flip the two of them together or three of them together, you are good to go.
Sure.
Thank you so much for that thought. So because you are here today as SCD Secretary General and um we're going to be asking a question based on your office.
Of course.
And so
Definitely.
just get ready. Like yeah, hot seats came up my ear.
No
Okay, so
problem.
having been in the office for say you've been in the office for like 3 months now, right?
Sure, sure. 3 months. Let's say
So
3 months.
exactly. Um Tell me an issue that most students complain about, something that everybody complains about. Maybe not everybody, but like maybe the majority part of the students complains about. And you now, as you are now, is this something that you can solve? Or is this something, no, maybe not you? Is this something your government, both the president and everybody, is this something that you guys can actually solve?
Okay, definitely one of the, in a school like this, there will be challenges, there will be problems, and there will be challenges for students. Okay, and I think one of the challenges that students have, apart from let me say there are regular challenges
Of
though.
course.
Everybody in school has their personal challenges and all that. What is keeping them one or two ways from not anything. Let me just make it clear that anything that is impairing your well-being is a challenge.
Okay.
Anything that anything that is making you uncomfortable
Yeah,
is a challenge. It can be like financial challenge, emotional trauma,
that one.
spiritual challenge sometimes too. Okay, but relating it to pertinently to what my government can offer, I think a challenge, like there's a time it came up, this medical center stuff about students complaining about not. I think that's one of the challenges I've encountered in government. Students complaining that they go to the medical center and they are not receiving appropriate healthcare service that they should receive.
Yeah.
I think this is a challenge, and it led my government actually made a move. Okay, actually made a move, and we met with the director of the medical center. Okay, and we were probing and asking why, because most students are complaining that the nurses there are not accommodating and facilities and all that. And when we actually made a move and we met with the director of the medical center, and you don't conclude a case on one end.
Of course.
You have to hear from the other party before you can actually make a meaningful suggestion or make a conclusion on the matter at hand. So when we approached the medical director, they said on their own part why most students can be rude sometimes. Most students can, sometimes students will just want to approach want, like a case scenario they painted is that the student will just come and tell you, I want to run tests. I want to run every test. I want to run HIV. I want to run syphilis. I want to run. How can you run all those particular tests? I say, my mommy said that I should run everything. But the thing is, some students will say that their situation is an emergency situation, that they will be telling you to calm down and actually relax so that they will attend to you. or you say you are in emergency, and emergency you're having a fever, and according to the conversation, what I realized is that most conditions that students refer to as emergency are not actually emergency.
Abi?
It is the physician that knows the situation that is an emergency and will actually tell you that this is an emergency situation and not what you feel to be an emergency
But
situation.
na me know wetin dey do me now. If I say na emergency,
Yes, now you know.
na me know wetin dey do me.
Now you know wetin they do, you quite alright. But after the examination, you can't, if you come to a hospital like this, the first thing is that you take a test
Yeah.
in order to know what is wrong with you. But you will see a student like this, student will just be, coming to run all the whole, as in, just like you have a compendium, a list of what you want to come and, are you a doctor or are you, you already have,
Okay.
but you not allow the,
When they teach you a work.
that's the thing. You will not allow the medical practitioner to actually examine you, know what is wrong with you, and then prescribe. It is now in their disposition to prescribe how urgent your attention is needed for this particular situation. Because a school, okay, let us be sincere to ourselves. We know the current situation in Nigeria. Even outside of school, we know the healthcare center in the country, how it is. Anything that government own, except you're going for a private hospital where you know that you receive exorbitant and first class treatment. But anything that is public in our nation, quote unquote, Nigeria, is actually under some, I don't know how to explain it, but they are not of actually that sound or standard, because our system
They manage.
overall is decayed.
Yeah.
So this has become a problem, that if students will feel that the health center within the school is exempted from such condition. Okay, so this, after we went and spoke with the director, we observed some challenges that they are facing, which I cannot divulge on air like this. Is an administrative protocol.
Yeah.
Okay, so these challenges have actually made some of the what is it called, some facilities per se not be accessible under normal circumstances.
Wow.
Okay, and you know that our country, quote unquote, you can't exempt. It's just like a fish and water. Once you bring a fish can only survive in water. So you say that the water is in the fish and the fish is in the water. So both of them are. So having an institution that is within a structure that is not functioning, there is tend to be that tilting and that imbalance. But I can't say that the claims about the students' concerns, because out of every 12, there must be a Judas.
Of course.
There must be that one professional that wants to paint the industry black. There must be that one doctor or one nurse out there whose cumulative behavior with students have painted an image towards the other ones that are good.
Yeah.
And we can't label everyone. In as much as the system is bad, there are people who are still sincere for the fear of God and for the love of humanity. And that's what I found within the stakeholders, or within the committee that are managing the health center in our university. These people make a lot of commitments. They make a lot of sacrifices in order to ensure that basic healthcare facilities are available and affordable to the students. Okay, but when matters like this are being discussed, and students, once you don't, I know most of them always say we might be entitled to get these things. Yes, it is true, this is your entitlement. As a student, you should. There's I think there's an insurance scheme that covers some of these things.
Wow.
There's insurance scheme, but the insurance scheme now, there is a way it functions that there is a limit. So
What you can actually
ahead
get.
what you can actually get. So most of them want to exceed those limits. Now, who will now have to pay for those exemptions? So you see that. But if I believe that this is a systemic problem, it's a problem concerning the system. Most of the things we suffer in this quote unquote our country, is actually systemic, because the system is not working. Okay, so if by 2027 we are able to elect a leader okay, or if our leaders in quote who are working for us now, can be able to, they're actually trying. I can't say that anybody there is not doing a great job, because we have experienced a leadership system that year in year out it will be like, if this one comes now, after they won't go, you will be like, let them come back.
Buhari said that you miss me. No, now, so when he said that stuff, me, I was like, she made this movie true, but me, say, like, I don't know.
So that's just the thing. But the good news is that we have actually engaged them, and we have actually brought to the limelight the things the students are facing, the plight of the students to them. And I hope and I believe that this new VC is someone that is open enough and is collaborative enough.
Yeah, I was going to get actually.
Was collaborative enough to work, for the university community. So my hopes are high that as we have now a substantive vice chancellor, someone that has a whole lot of years to do, and not all these acting stuff and all that is making the administration not to be stable. Because when you move from one hand to the other hand within a short space of time, it can make some lag and some things to go wrong. But if there is someone there who is held accountable for a very long period of time, the person will want to work and impress so as to make the life of the people better. So I feel that going forward, a lot of things you are working, and we'll see that a lot of things are being tackled and a lot of things are being addressed as much as we can.
Thank you so much. You really, really shared a lot of light into this conversation.
Okay.
Because this medical stuff now, it's not really, really talked about, but it is one of the major problems that we face here. I could remember some time ago, someone was saying something that, okay, if you actually need the medical stuff, because you still have to like register now.
Sure.
Yes, but it's free now, Abi.
Yeah, registration is free.
But most
card.
people will not register.
They will not get their
So
card.
when they're now sick, they now go to the hospital.
Okay.
So, but of course, you not register. They don't know you as a student. Anybody can actually walk in there and be like,
Sure.
So, that's one of the problems that we have there. And if you're a student watching, go and register your medical.
Get your medical card so that
so that before you go there, they will start. It will be like they are not treating you well or stuff. So please, let's help the government to help us.
Sure, definitely.
Thank you so much for that. I read your vote of thanks after you guys were inducted into the office of induction.
Inaugurated.
No, which have you found? Okay.
We are inaugurated actually.
So after you guys were inaugurated, so you said you're looking forward to run the government where students are the focus of it. And like I said, I would have asked you this question maybe how do you intend to go about it? But guy, you spent 3 months there. So it's going to be direct.
Okay.
How is that, like what have you done about it? Like what's the step you've taken to make the students actually the focus of the government?
Okay. That's a very, very nice question, and it's a critical one, because anyway, my vote of thanks, or my appreciation post, I said categorically that I look forward to a union where every student is a stakeholder,
Yes.
where the interests of the students are addressed, where every student have a say in the government. All right, so let's take it from this standpoint of view of democracy. Okay, democracy is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people.
Yes.
So you know that in democracy you cannot eliminate the people from the equation, because if you eliminate the people from the equation, you have already the whole essence of the thing has been defeated. It should be people what oriented. Power, PDP says that what power what belongs to the people. So the people have that say. So I think our leadership within the university space is just a micro setting of the mega world, of the macro world. Okay, it is a micro institute that prepares us, that arranges us for the wars and difficult times and the leadership of tomorrow. Okay, look at every person that have been all the most, at least let me say 75% of people in power today. Once you trace them back, to their roots, you trace them that were once time SUG this or that when they
Yes.
were in
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
Okay, so now why I made such a statement of students being stakeholders, students can only suggest to a government when they have a voice, a responsive government. Students can only express how they feel when they see that there's comfortable environment for them to say their mind, for them to bring their problems to the limelight. Okay, because there's another thing that says a problem shared is a problem what half
So
solved.
we have solved.
Okay, so if you don't even know the problem of the people you are leading, how do you now intend to proffer solution to those problems? Okay, so when I meant that I need a union where students are stakeholders, what I mean is that I need a union that works on feedback mechanism. What do I mean by feedback mechanism? I mean that you are the ones appraising, give it just like you enter a ride, okay, or you finish having call on WhatsApp, and WhatsApp brings out, I will say, rate
Yeah.
rate our
5 star.
5 star. So it is a student oriented arrangement or a student oriented setting where students can be able to say, wow, this government is actually performing for us, wow, this government is actually doing what we want them to do. But now is, what do the students want the government to do for them? See, that is where the gap now comes in. There is a bridge, sorry, there is a gap that needs to be bridged.
Exactly.
And the union should be able to bridge that gap between the administration and the students. We hear what the students want, we know their pain points, and we bargain with the administration to see how to resolve some of the things that are giving them challenges. Now, considering what or where I have started in my movement towards that, I would say on a lighter note, okay, I've been in 3 months in government. I wouldn't want to, make excuses, okay, but the thing is, the government before us have, they stayed for 2 sections.
Yeah.
They stayed for two tenors.
Oh, I like that.
So staying for 2 tenors meant that, there would be this what is it called? I wouldn't want to say power, transcending power, assuming they handed over when they were supposed to hand over. In Nigeria, as you are moving down the drain and there is no accountability system and there is no system, and there is the thing you want to bring in is not yet bringing, the more time is being delayed, the more the problems is expanding.
Exactly.
So you don't expect me under 3 months to solve the whole problems faced by Nigerian students.
No,
But the thing is, there are things we have been able to see as, to see to them. There are things we have been working on. One of them is this medical sector. I've told you, we've tried as much as possible. Then when we had issues, it's compelled us to create a particular group dedicated to medical complaints, so where we can get the feedback of students on that particular area. Okay, I think another thing we are working on creating a responsive 247 is it a handle or timeline where students can always reach out to, whether it is an email, whether it is or opinion box. It is very, 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 very vital that it should be created, so that, because I cannot solve a problem that I don't know that exists. I can only attend to a problem I know exists. Now, there are students who reach out to me, my personal handle, my personal WhatsApp. They chat me up, hello. I have never for once, you chat me up as a union student, I've never for once not replied. You at least know what the problem is with you. There were times people were chatting me about a particular program that should be happening in school, and whether we are aware about the program. I told them yes, that we are aware. Something of that nature, and I explained to her why this program is actually necessary. Now, Tomorrow is Saturday. You know, my government is planning on a skill acquisition. There is this event that is going to happen is going to happen at Eco Conventional Rev. Okay, this event is aimed at equipping students with hands-on digital skills that will enhance their CV when they graduate. When they come into this program or this project, they will be what? They will be certified, and they will be trained, and they will be mentored. Okay, these are the various ways. I know that my government might not be able to solve the whole problems that is, parading the community, the university community, or the student community, but at least if we can get at least to 70 or 80% of the need, because there is a difference between need and want.
Yes, no.
If you can attend to the need, at least to a degree, to the needs of the students, I believe that we have done noble. Okay, because in as much as I have stayed up to 3 months, I will equally say that this is still a young government, because for now we are still, as power change, we have already established a bond with the outgoing VC, that's Professor T Ujam. Okay, we always establish a bond, and we are already on a track to doing something. Then
I get.
there is a new administration in town, and we still have to accustom, we still have to adjust, and we still have to bring up our plans to this particular new government again to see how we can push things forward. Okay, so it is just like having patience and exercising patience with the government, that we are still planning, strategizing on the best possible way, to move things forward. And looking at, again, the academic calendar is so short. As a student leader, I'm equally a student.
Now wait till you talk.
I don't know, the do go past myself.
Yes.
I equally try to strike a balance. And if I am fully into leadership, I'm not a student, I'm just into coordinating, I think I'll have more time to at least attend to at least to a particular degree, at least 95% degree of the problems. But as I'm a student, I have lectures to attend, I have other things to do, I have meetings here and there and all that. I'm not making excuses, but just for you to understand how it is, you should sympathize with your leaders sometimes. It's usually not easy for them in carrying out the events of the day. So it is just what it is. But we keep on moving and strategizing. But one thing I promise is, I'm still promising a responsive government. Okay, this government is a government that is responsive. Okay, in as much as there is limitation to what we can achieve, because we are not the administration, but we can always try our possible best to bargain, just like the federal government is always bargaining with ASU. The ASU is always bargaining with federal government.
Yes.
We stand to bargain for the students, but we need the students' support in order for us to bargain for them. You will see students will say SUG, all those people, they will be eating money. Yeah, these are all painted narratives, but you don't you don't judge a book by its cover. You don't judge someone because of the mistakes of the past government or the past administration or how it has been done. Okay, I believe that my president is someone that has the interest of the student at heart.
He does.
Yeah.
I've met Ozabo.
Sure,
I've met him a few times, and I can really say that the guy,
he has the interest of the
very
student at heart.
approachable.
Very approachable, very honest, very simple. Not all this, doesn't have all these humongous protocols. You can meet him, shake him, ask him questions, he will respond to you. I don't think there is something as promising as seeing a young man, whom knows his power as the president of the union, and he's approachable. Even that ability to approach your leaders in government alone is a win for me. Because even if we cannot be able to give a possible solution at that particular point in time because of the limitations from our own end, we will actually have to give hope.
Hope.
We will give you maybe hope of, we are working on this. If it is something that from my own personal end, I know that this is something that if I actually help you solve this thing, to take nothing from me as an individual, rather than involving the administrative and all those protocols, this is something I can do If not something I can do, I'm alliance with some of my friends and say, okay, this person has one or two problems. How do we go about this stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, but that doesn't show that the system should actually be functioning. I know what I'm saying when I mean the system should be functioning. The system should be responsive. There should be accountability. There should be checks and balances, which is what we are lacking, quote unquote, in our country. An administration will come, they implement their policy. Before you know, the other one will come. No checking, no evaluation, no track record of what have been done in the past. How do we, move a step or an inch forward from what has been done? What innovative idea, what creativity are we bringing in? So it is time we analyze the people we allow to lead us, even beyond the university sphere. It is time we start asking pertinent questions on this particular leader we want to elect. What is his portfolio? Who is he? What has he done in the past? What makes you think he will deliver? Or are we just following the noise of the crowd of he's the one, he's the mandate, he's the one that will deliver what exactly? Have you thought about finding a simple fact? Just like Peter will tell you what, go and verify. But it is sad that in our political setting, once you're able to grease the palms of the leaders, in quote, leaders, the stakeholders and leaders of the people, they will carry you in the head and they will make sure they deliver you. And when they deliver you, the masses will now be asking, when did this person get into power? How did he get into power? One thing is that we all are responsible for this decayed system.
Yeah.
Each and every one of us has contributed to this decayed system. You will see during the campaign, you will ask students, please come and vote for me. They will tell you, what will you give me?
Bye.
What will you give me? You will do giveaway. Even some people will come to your DM and tell you, give me money. I know that when you enter now, you forget us. So they prefer to eat their cake at that particular point in time.
And you cannot have it again. That's the funny
But you cannot have it again. So, I want to say something.
If I'm going for a political position,
Okay.
and you tell me to give you something, I'll give you. Make it out. Yeah,
But the problem is, imagine someone that spent, let me say, to win an election, you spent ₦1 million. When you come into office, your mindset will be, it's a business. We have turned our leadership system into a business opportunity. That the person will now have to start thinking, how do I recover my costs?
And interest.
And interest at the end of the day. The person will no longer be concerned about the problems he singled out that he will solve when he gets into power. Because he knows that before he got into that particular position, he has spent a lot, sleepless nights, he has invested, he made a lot of promises that are unattainable.
Yeah, that was it.
So I think there should be a holistic overhaul of our leadership system in general. I'm no longer talking about the conventional student politics.
So we are going mega.
I think there should be a massive reorientation, a paradigm shift, a mindset transformation, where we have to understand that a leader is meant to work for the people and not working for himself, for personal aggrandizement, for embezzlement. It's only in Nigeria that I heard the word. I heard it in primary, embezzlement of public funds. What is that? What is that? What is that?
You know, none of the for civic education, you're right there.
Embezzlement. I know what is embezzlement. I was going to that somehow. Embezzlement is actually carrying money. So the thing is, if we can tell ourselves the truth to the power, and we elect leaders, we know people that will deliver.
Yeah, we know
people that will deliver, but we know that the system cannot give them that opportunity to deliver. Okay, imagine when I was coming for Secretary General, a lot of people lost interest in that. They know that most people I know didn't see the capacity in me that I will actually win this position, because they knew that they ask you who is behind you, who is moving you, who is your pusher. And once they discover that you are just coming in out for the interest of the masses, They will automatically know that you are disqualified, that you are not going to win this, because the upper hand, you're not greasing any palm for you to get there. And what they don't understand is that as long as you are greasing any palm, in order for them to push you, that palm, you will keep on greasing them even in government.
Everywhere.
You will keep on greasing those palms, because those palms will always remind you that they are the ones that made you who you are, and you cannot work without them. And if you try to do otherwise, they disorganize your setting. Okay, so it is like a reorientation. Nigeria, I will keep on saying it, we know what to do right, but we don't want to do it. A lot of people are complaining because corruption, because they are not part of it. Just give them a token from that, they will forget what they're advocating for.
Hi.
So during our leader, our process of electing or selecting our leaders, something has to be done in that part. Because if nothing is done to reduce the amount that people put into campaigns, into trying to convince people that they want to lead, all this convincing them doesn't mean I believe in track record.
You know that Labour Party did not spend money during the election. See all
Okay.
those give money this, give money that.
Okay.
I heard that they did not do it and they still won.
Okay.
So had it been like everything is the way it should be, you get, that would have been like one of the, it should have been, they would have made history. Because
Sure.
yeah, I heard that those people now during the election now, people that have been in the polling units and doing this one shot, they don't even have any of that. But
Okay.
they still won. So you can imagine. So what we are saying here is that a lot of processes that leads people to power, both the citizen gongo, like the students gongo, we still have to do a lot of orientation.
Sure.
Or like I can tell you for a fact. You said something that you are complaining about corruption because you are not part of it. That's the problem. Everybody. Let me say I don't like generalizing stuff, but most people, if you give them opportunity, you are going to see shaking.
That's just the complete fact.
You are going to let's go to another place.
That's the complete. But the thing is, now there is still hope. Okay, there is still hope. I believe that why I said, we are in a question, we are actually in a question. I said that I believe in a government where the citizens or the masses are the real stakeholders.
Yeah.
Go to the US, go to the UK. The citizen, a particular citizen, you can't, if a citizen of America comes to Nigeria, do you know the protocol that will be here before they arrive to make sure that here is safe for them to be? And you hear that a citizen of America, that someone, they kidnap them here, America will fly down. This means that the citizens are stakeholders, they are important,
Yes.
they are very vital to the system. Now, are you vital to this government presently, currently?
I'm out from
So this
I don't know.
this is a fight. This is a fight, and it will take a long time. Even outside of this is the mandate, and it starts from somewhere. We can push it outside of the university community. Okay, where every guy is value. Imagine Dangote truck, and I don't want to mention because Dangote has already made themselves exempted themselves from. So imagine a truck hitting killing a family, killing a University of Nigeria Sugar student, and that's, I haven't heard of apprehension, I haven't heard of any processes taken to jail, to chain, or to bring the culprits involved to the limelight. As long as we keep on recycling these kind of things where nobody is accountable and nobody is questioned, nobody is said, okay, you did this wrong, come and answer for it. As long as the system is disorganized and like this, we are going nowhere.
Yo, this topic is going to take us ages to discuss.
Sure.
But the problem here is that I want to make this clear because we are actually rounding up, but I want you to understand something. He said that he's a student. The only thing they can do is to solicit. You might not want to hear it, but that's the truth. there is still the upper people, the higher power at the end of the day. So, but when we will now have a better government is when, like you said, when you can reach out to them and ask them stuff and talk to them. There's something with closure. Closure does a lot of things, even if you don't really have the answer. But if you can just engage the person and talk to the person, it shows a kind of regard per se, that you understand what the person is passing through. Like you said, they are students, so most of the problems that we are passing through, them to self, they are aware of it.
Sure.
Maybe you're not saying about now. If you know the reason and again, you get but yes,
As a reason,
if you know the reason now, but I'm pretty sure that he started from 100 level, past 200 level, and so they upgrading now. You know, actually, kind of saw those things in doing it, like 200 level and stuff. Every 100 level student, you see stuff. Forget them. No matter how informed you are, you
Sure.
go still. I want to see this conversation. I'm going to have him again and we'll continue this conversation.
Sure.
So, I gave you what we did today. This podcast now is a, how do I say it now? It's a transformation. I love using the word transformation. There's one thing about people now. I love to listen to people when they are talking, so that I'll actually understand how they think. I want to follow you and think. You know what I'm saying? I want to watch you think. So if you have been seeing him, most of us we might have not met him actually. I know that one for a fact. Most of us, I mean, so the DNA, never meet them, or mother have never met them. But but the fact that you can actually listen to him talk, this conversation, you know that it's not scripted. You know that one. So this is how he thinks, and if this is how he thinks, I'm pretty sure that he is the best man for the job, as he's doing a good job already. So thank you so much, Comrade Simon, for coming. I really appreciate your time. I wish we could get more deep into the conversation.
That will always be the next time.
Of course, there always be a next time.
Sure,
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
No problem, my brother.
So thank you.
All right.
So
Thank you so much.
this is the end of the show. Please subscribe, like, share, comment. Drop your comments. On a serious note, I really want to hear what you think about it. And like I said, he's coming back. And many other stakeholders, you'll be seeing a lot of them. So what you will do now is just keep sending your questions, and we will try our best to attend to that. And if you have any particular guests that you actually want to see, just write it down there, and we'll try our best. Thank you so much, and see you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye. Take care.